Brother Shaka Shakur coming at you. Just taking a break from the books right quick. School is murder, but hey, that's what you got to do to get straight A's. You know what I mean? But I want to talk about in depth this term Black Power Gangsterism. Like, what the hell is that? You know, we're not gangsters, man. We may have been at one time, but we left that life alone consciously. You know, I came up under a lot of original Panthers, and they also all tell me that, you know, once you became a Panther, you can't be a gang member no more. Like, the two don't work together. Because, you know, the whole gang culture is counter-revolutionary. You know, it is families oriented, but at the end of the day, you willing to bang against other people that look like you. That's your ultimate goal at the end of the day. You're not getting together to fight the system. You might say that, but that's not what's happening. You know, you're exploiting your own. You're oppressing your own. And that's just the way of life of the gangster world. You know what I mean? That's just it. It's a parasitical world that feeds on itself. Cool, but that's not the revolutionary world. So the two don't have nothing to do with each other. Now let's look at Black Power, because that word gets thrown out there. I don't think people understand what Black Power is. Black Power, let's just say the word black. It's not a color. I'm not black. You know, I'm an African. We come in many hues. But what happens is, black is a consciousness. It's a frame of thought that connects us as a group. And we just happen to be from the same place. You know, power is the ability to define phenomena and have it move in a direction. But mechanically, it is also the three stages of being able to define, develop, and defend what's in the best interest of that group. So in our case, Black Power means having a consciousness that connects us and being able to define, defend, and develop what we see is beneficial for us as a group, i.e. black nationalism. And then when you understand that your group is part of a bigger group worldwide, Pan-Africanism kicks in. Nowhere in there is gangsterism a part of it. You know, the definition for gangster, and I'm going to look it up, hold on. Because I don't like to, you know, throw things out there and then somebody come along and say I was wrong. So it says gangster is a member of a gang of violent criminals. A member of a gang of violent criminals. So you telling me that Black Power gangsters, so you're a member of a gang of violent, we criminals now? We're calling ourselves criminals on purpose? Look, man, everything else is falling apart. You'll see the state of hip-hop, or the trash out there they call rap, reactionary African propaganda. You see the state of our communities. You see the condition of our people. Man, I'd be damned if I'm going to sign on to destroying the one thing we got left that could get us out of this. Because it's cool? Nah, I'm not doing it. We ain't no goddamn gangsters. We revolutionaries. We're Africans. You know, we're new Africans at that. We're not gangsters. We're not trying to be gangsters. You want to be a gangster? Go out there and join clubs that gangsters run. You know, let's be real. Even some of the groups that we call gangs, even they're in the process of trying to clean it up or move it in another direction or get back to their roots of revolutionary ideology. So why would I want to go the other direction? Please. I understand where it came from, because Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, he used to say, I'm a truth terrorist, a history hitman, a knowledge gangster. Dr. Khalid wasn't a gangster, but what he was saying is that the same fervor, the same, that rough, you know, we ain't taking no shorts attitude that we had when we were hitmen or terrorism or gangsters. We should have that same thing in the pursuit of the knowledge to bona fide our greatness. So what I'm saying is that if you look at a hitman, let's look at each one he used. He said, I'm a history hitman. So a hitman is a very methodical person, a very patient person, a very well-planned person, a specific person, you know. And in order to comprehend and study history, you have to be methodical, patient, well-organized, etc., etc., etc. Well, let's look at truth terrorism. You know, a terrorist in the classic terms is, you know, let's look it up. I don't want to, again, I love the dictionary because it's their language, you know. We ain't gonna be making stuff up. The use of violence and intimidation in the pursuit of political aims. That's what a terrorist is. So, in our thing, we're not saying we want to be violent or intimidate people. What we are saying is that we want to have that big effect, the way like these terrorist groups, they do things, and it has a big effect on people. So we want the same big effect when we do what we do. You feel me? That's what we want. So when we speak the truth, we want the truth to be radiated and like boom, right in your face. You know, or if we say we're a knowledge gangster, you know, it's saying like we rough, we tough, we're not having it, man. We taking this knowledge and we ain't taking no shorts once we got this knowledge. That's what that means. It don't mean carry yourself that way. You know, let's stop justifying things like nigga. We're not niggas. Don't justify that. You know, it's not negus. Negus, Negus, is a word from Ethiopia or Abyssinia that usually negated power. A powerful or well-respected person within the social status of those areas, of that area, is the negus. It's like a crowning, a title. You know, nigger came from the Latin word negro, which is what the Portuguese slave traders and the Spanish-speaking slave traders used to describe us. They would call us negro, negro so-and-so, negro so-and-so, negrita such and such, negrito such and such. So what happened is the European got in contact with the other European, the Castilian, and in his own impotency, in his own ignorance, he began to mispronounce negro to nigger. And then somehow this word grew, nigger. But it quickly got attached to us. And it wasn't attached to us as just a description of who we are. It was attached to us as a lower social being. You know, so if I called you a nigga, it's like you're a beast. You have no value. And that's why when you hear the word and you hear people say the word, that's what they mean. They don't mean I love you. That's what they mean. But we done flipped it because we got this mentality of we're going to take it and flip it and make it ours. Some things you don't have to make yours. Some things you got to throw away. That's one of them. You know, people say, I don't care if white people call each other crackers. I don't care if Spanish people start calling each other spics. I don't care if Chinese people start calling each other chinks, or if Jewish people call each other kikes, or Italian people call each other guitos and wops. I could care less. I'm not calling myself a nigga. Yeah, so I'm not calling myself a nigga. You can forget that. It's not going to happen. I understand it. Let it go. Move on. You know? And on the same note, man, we're not gangsters. Stop trying to bring that gang thing here. But what, you can't survive in some gang out there, so you come over here. A lot of people do that. Y'all come into this cultural thing and become people you can't be over there. Like, you know, you don't go to school, or you don't want to take the time to really study and earn your bones, so you become a lecturer in the movement thing. Or you a rapper trying to get a deal and Jay-Z ain't signing, so you come over here and spit a couple of black verses and you're looking for the next record deal. You know, a lot of you dudes, you gangsters over here. How you gangsters over here? Ain't nobody be a gangster for. You want to be a gangster? Hey, a brother named Otis Bird just got lynched in Mississippi. Go to Mississippi and be a gangster. How about that? You know, gangster, cover down on issues like that. We need gangsters for that. We don't need gangsters in the middle of a lecture. You know, all this cursing and carrying on. Man, save that. There's a time for that, and it ain't amongst us. I'll tell you the truth. We got to stop acting less than who we are. You know, that goes for yours truly on across the board, man. We got to step up or step off. Ain't no gangsters here, man. This Black Power thing is about liberation. It's about upliftment. My children are not niggas, and I ain't no nigga. And I'm not going to call you a nigga or a bitch or a wench or anything like that. Alright? So this is your brother sharing my thoughts, man. Some of y'all going to agree and some of you not. But at this point, man, we declaring ourselves liberated from those ideologies that don't benefit us as a people. We standing up. You know, you can be what you want, but I ain't no nigga. RBG means red, black, and green. That's it. Not real black gangsters, revolutionary, but gangster. Nah. RBG, it means red, black, green. Those are the colors of my flag. Red for the blood that has been spilt in this long process we call liberation. Black, the consciousness of a people that keeps us united. Description of the people who were stolen from that great and mighty place called Africa. Green, the lush land, the natural resource called Africa. Red, black, and green. And if you trim it in gold, that represents the gold that has been stolen, i.e. the resources and the knowledge and culture of our people. That's what red, black, and green means. It don't mean none of that other stuff, all right? So stop changing what works just so you can keep your 40 in your hand and keep that blunt in your mouth. If you want to do those things, that's on you, man. But don't, it's wrong. You know it's wrong, you know? So when I dibble and dabble, I'm drinking a beer, it's wrong, you know? Don't justify it. Just own up to it. Stop it. That's all. Plain and simple. Just own up to it. All right, boom, and then stop it. Don't try to mix it into this and make this something to fit your madness. Nah, we ain't having that no more, man. Ain't nobody scared here. I don't walk the streets with no gangs. I ain't got no guns. I ain't got none of that. I walk the street with the truth. My army is truth. That's my army. You know, so it ain't about fear, it ain't about punking nobody. It's about setting standards, man. You know, setting standards and setting barriers, man. The barrier is we not niggas. We ain't trying to be gangsters. We revolutionary soldiers, African warriors. That's what we are. You want to get down with that? Uhuru, get down with that. But other stuff we ain't having. Peace.